4 months old is a really tricky time for sleep. There are a whole lot of things happening in your little one's body and brain that mean that sometimes sleep can be quite hard to achieve. And today I am answering your sleep question. My 4-month-old can self-settle at the start of naps but cannot resettle during sleep cycles. And in this video, I'm going to explore why your little one might be struggling to resettle between their sleep cycles. Tell me in the comments below, do you have a 4-month-old baby who is struggling with this same thing? Or is sleep going really well for you and your family? We would love to hear from you. Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm one of the founders of Little Ones and mother to 3 darling children. When we created this company, we wanted to provide trusted, proven sleep solutions to tired families because we know what sleep deprivation is like, and we also knew how hard it was to find reliable information from sources you could trust. What we have developed is a set of comprehensive sleep programs that guide you through every aspect of your little one's sleep right from birth. We cover naps, settling, self-settling, sleep regressions, night sleep, nap transitions, starting solids, and more. We would love to help you and your family achieve better sleep through our online programs available in our mobile app. Please visit our website www.little-ones.co to get started right away. Right, I'm not going to dive too deep into the massive sleep changes that happen at 4 months old because we've got a ton of videos on our YouTube channel and articles on our website that cover all of the massive neurological developmental leaps that happen at this age. So make sure you check those out as well. But what I am going to briefly mention is that once your little one reaches around 4 months old, and then of course beyond 4 months old, self-settling does start to play a part in your little one's sleep quality. So if your little one is self-settling or able to self-settle, it means that they can independently put themselves to sleep at the start of their naps and at bedtime in the evening. This means your little one is not relying on you to actively settle themselves to sleep. So what self-settling generally means from this age onwards is your baby is able to achieve longer naps and more consolidated nighttime sleep because they have the skill of being able to put themselves to sleep without relying on you actively settling them each time they come out of a sleep cycle during the day and overnight. So if your little one at 4 months old is already self-settling to sleep, perfect. That's really awesome and you've done a great job. But your question indicates that your little one is still struggling to then resettle between those sleep cycles. Firstly, I'm going to say this is so normal at this age, and I don't want you to get stressed out about it or hung up on it because your little one is what we would call catnapping, or just sleeping for that one sleep cycle at a time. Baby steps with babies. The fact that your little one is able to self-settle when they're going to sleep is the biggest step in the right direction. And sometimes for some babies, it is just a bit of a waiting game while their development catches up. So you might do everything else right to help them be able to resettle between those cycles. Sometimes it's just a time thing and we just need to ride it out. But I'll give you a couple of tips for things that you could definitely try to help get them resettling between those sleep cycles to aim for longer naps and better nighttime sleep. So the first thing I would suggest is referring to naps during the day. Just make sure your little one is awake for long enough between naps. So quite commonly we see catnapping or not resettling between sleep cycles when a baby is still in sort of newborn-ish sleep patterns. So having awake periods that are a bit too short now. At 4 months old, I would definitely be looking at least 2 hours of being awake between naps to allow them to be tired enough to then resettle and sleep for longer than that one sleep cycle. But you also want to rule out that they are overtired. So I wouldn't want them to be awake for too long between their naps. Definitely no longer than 2.5 hours awake. Aim for 2. If they're overtired, that can be another reason that they're not resettling between their sleep cycles. The environment in which your little one sleeps is also going to contribute to their resettling success at this age. Aim for the classic advice we always give: nice dark room, loud white noise. These things will really help your little one understand that they are in the zone for sleep, that it's still sleep time, and they're hopefully eventually going to just roll over once they surface out of that first sleep cycle and go back to sleep into another one to have a nice long nap. Another thing that you can do just to help your little one understand that they ought to be resettling back to sleep is just give them a bit of help. There is nothing wrong with letting your baby self-settle to sleep. Then if they're struggling to resettle, going in and doing a bit of active settling for them. This might be patting them on the bottom or the tummy or the back. It might even be getting them up and rocking them for a little bit to get them back to sleep so that they can sleep for another sleep cycle. The fact that your baby is self-settling at the start of that nap is a really big win, and I wouldn't want you to feel like you can't then go in and hands-on resettle them, because that would still be totally fine. It helps teach them that they need to sleep for longer at that nap, and it also means that they are potentially getting a nice long nap, so it's going to stave off any overtiredness throughout the rest of the day. So I hope that's given you a few tips around some different things you can try to encourage your little one to resettle between those sleep cycles. But the biggest thing that I want to tell you is not to stress about it. Some babies are just serial catnappers no matter what you do. And if your little one is already self-settling, like I said, that is a really, really big step in the right direction, and the rest will come. It might be a few tweaks to their nap routine, a few tweaks to their awake windows, switching on some white noise, and that's all it takes. Or it might just be a little bit of time. But if you do need some extra help getting those awake times and maybe sort of looking at what the ideal nap structure should be for your little one at this age, please check out our website, www.littlenones.co, and see how our sleep programs can work with your family to improve the sleep of your little one, but also of your sleep too. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.